Hey guys, just going to continue with my Ides of March 2015 coverage, and I'm just going to go through the next three games, that's games 2, 3, and 4, fairly quickly and in the same video clip on YouTube, because these three games were a bit shorter than the other games. Note that I lost my first round, so obviously for the next three games I'm actually playing against other opponents who've also lost games, which generally makes the games easier. As you are up against people who maybe took lists which were difficult to use or perhaps were newer at the game. So this one is round 2. I'm up against Protectorate of Menoth, and I believe the scenario is Recon, and I've got 3 Butcher here, the correct choice in this case, I believe, and just planning on going straight up the middle and seeing if I can outclass him in some way. Next photo shows you his list. He's got Krios 3 with the Zealots and TFG and Unit Avengers at the back, and 2 Reckoners. I personally prefer the Fire of Salvation instead of one of the Reckoners, but otherwise this guy runs pretty much the same list that I would run with Krios 3. So looks like I've got the first turn here, and just running forward, and he's just getting everything onto the hill in response. Third photo, I've got the Devastator way out front just to prevent the Avengers from getting a good angle to get through there. In the meantime, I've actually run through with the Iron Fang Pikemen, and I believe used the mini feat, also taking a few of them down with the Widowmakers. So next image, he's moved around with his Zealots, trying to bomb some of the Iron Fang Pikemen, which to be honest is fairly successful, and moving his Avengers around the flank just so that they can get into a better position later on. Hopefully I should be able to stall them a bit with the Devastator. Next image shows you a bit of another look. I think he actually used Force Hammer to knock the Devastator back, which I thought was quite a smart move, and I've managed to get in there with the Great Bears and get involved. But what actually ends up happening is that in his following turn he moves Krios 3 forward and forgets to move him back with the ride-by attack. Oh, excuse me, with the little sneeze there. So he forgets to use the ride-by attack with Krios 3 and get back to safety, which unfortunately puts him within Butcher's threat range. So the game just ended there, basically. It was actually in his favor, and I think that if he had actually pulled back a little bit with the ride-by attack and just kept playing, it would have been, you know, somewhat difficult for me to win, because I would have had to expend Butcher's feat killing the Avengers, and then I'm susceptible to dying to Krios. Note that he did pretty well with the shooting, actually taking out the Great Bears in that following turn, but it ended up not mattering. So on to game 3, up against Crix, and this is Sturgis 2, the undead version of Sturgis, and it's the first time I play against this particular caster. He's the newest one in the Crix lineup, I believe, one of the newer ones, and yeah, people regard Sturgis as the weakest Crix caster, and I suppose it's just because he's lacking a decent spell list. But still, he's got Crix stuff on his side, so it's still quite hard to do it. So I'm just deployed here. I think I took the second turn. Let's have a look at the next image. He's got a huge unit of Bile Thralls at the back, and he's got Satixus and Bane Knights. No Bane Thralls, but he's got Tartarus for the Dark Shroud, of course. Next image just runs through with the Satixus into the middle. So I figured what I would do here is I can expend Butcher's feat early to make the Satixus flee, since he's got nothing to make them fearless. And that should actually give me a bit of an advantage. It's generally better to take hold of an early advantage and try and keep it. That's generally my strategy and my preference for playing this game. So ended up going with that. If you look at the next image, that's where I ended up. Butcher's actually just tagging the zone at the end, and the Satixus are unable to activate next turn, which means my entire army is safe from that. He can't use his Power Swell on the Devastator to try and put feedback into Butcher, and everything else behind is blocked. He's not going to get his Bile Thralls in range, so it should give me a better advantage going into the scenario game, and I can use models to try and take out the Satixus in the next turn. Next image just shows you another look at where we are. Satixus basically trying to get out of the way, and everything else coming through. Saxons there trying to shoot some of them. So next image, Sturgis moves up, actually charges Madeline to get extra range, and planned to go for an assassination on Butcher here. He's moved his arc node through the front as well, but he actually made a couple of mistakes here. First of all, managed to block line of sight from his arc node to Butcher, which was, you know, problematic because he couldn't get Parasite into Butcher. He's loaded the Warjack up with Focus and intends to charge through after defeating and bringing Butcher forward. But remember, he doesn't have the Satixis to help out, and I think at one point he forgot that his Satixis were fleeing due to the automatic Terror fail roll. I mean, I guess he didn't have to roll the dice. I did point it out to him, though, that he was fleeing, and Sturgis just teleports back without really achieving much. So if you go to the next photo, here's the setup. I mean, that's where he was. Butcher's been moved forward, same with the Devastator, and Satixis can't really contribute. And as you can see there, due to the pull, there's one Satixis model, a dog, an Argus rather, and a Devastator blocking line of sight to Butcher from the Arc node. So next image, Seether comes in here, not the Seether, sorry, the Slayer, just the basic battle box, heavy Warjack, comes in with 3 focus, and does some significant damage to Butcher, but remember he is camping maximum focus, so he does maybe half of Butcher's boxes and puts corrosion on him, but that's the best that he could achieve. Had he been able to get some Satixis in there, maybe he'd have done a bit more, but yeah, it still would have been tough to take him down. Other cool thing is that the drag took him away from the War Dog, so a little bit easier to hit. Next image, Butcher simply retaliates, charges forward, uses Energizer, and, sorry, wrong order. He energizes first, then charges, because, unfortunately, this, what's his name, mercenary 2-point solo dude that shuts down spells, null magic guy, Orin Midwinter is his name, prevents me from using Flashing Blade and Impending Doom, but it didn't matter because I just charged into Sturgis's face and buy attacks. Note that I didn't charge into Sturgis's face actually. There was a Bile Thrall next to Sturgis which I charged, and then I bought attacks against Sturgis. The reason for that is a reversal. If I'd rolled a 1-1 or something like that and missed Sturgis completely with Butcher's charge attack, then it would have been all over because that's a failed charge, but that didn't happen that way. And we're on to the next game. This is a win for Khador. So next image, it's up against Trollbloods, and he's got Epic Doom Shaper here, and I've got 3 Butcher, and his other choice was P. Borka with the Family Reunion tier list, which would have been a better choice. Obviously Silence to Death is going to shut him down either way, but this particular matchup I think was quite bad for Epic Doom Shaper because it's so hard for him to get his heavies through. Butcher can just wait at the back. The Black Dragons are just going to Persistent Strike every time onto the Spirit Column, no healing. It's going to be really tough for him. So next image, we'll just have a look. He's just running forward with his whatchamacallits, these Fen Blades, as you'd say. Unfortunately for him, I've got 5 models with Snipe plus Sax and Auric to do the damage on them, so it's going to be quite hard for him to get a lot of mileage out of them. So next image, here's my turn 2, I believe. Just moving forward with the Iron Fang Pikemans and killing as many guys as I can with shooting. We've even got Holt in there to crack off a couple of shots with his guns. And really this just leaves my opponents with beasts left only. Next image, we've got a little bit of Vengeance Retaliation, but again, these guys sort of needing 7s to hit, or is it 6s to hit? Yeah, 6s to hit. Not always cracking armor when I've got the mini feet up, and there's only about 4 of them with blades left, so very limited mileage there from the Fen Blades. Next image, Khador just keeps surging forward. I've moved Butcher back around this forest just to stay a long way away from his beasts. He's actually moved his beasts into the corner a little bit, and I think that was, you know, perhaps a little bit too conservative. He probably should have started taking some risks at that point. Just makes it really easy for him to win here because I just keep scoring with Butcher every turn, and as soon as he moves something to the zone to contest, I kill it, and he's got no small models to do that with. So next image, things looking good for me on both sides of the table. He's got his Earthborn there which moves forward and kills and then refuges back, and Genesis puts the wall up, but it's just too defensive really. Butcher will just win on scenario 2 easily against that. So next image, he's decided to make a play here with the Mauler, charging in and killing a few models, unable to do anything to the Devastator of course, even with his Animus, it won't really work, but he is able to contest the zone there. So if you look at the next picture, he's also got Mulg and the Axe are moved up so that they can try to contest the following turn, and he's contesting the other zone with the Earthborn Die Troll in the background. But again, I've got the Great Bears active, I've got plenty of pikemen ready to go. So next picture, that's retaliation there. I've moved forward with the Great Bears, smashed them up a bit, dominating the zone again. War Dog's in front, Argus is in front of Butcher with the War Dog behind, so even if he tries some really long range goad assassination, it's just going to be very hard to get to Butcher with the max camp there. And I've got some pikemen onto the Axis, so that will get rid of Rush in the long run as well. Next image on the other side, Widowmaker's still going strong. Almost all of the Fen Blades gone now, just 2 of them left, and I've still got a few guys into the Earthborn, which are going straight for a Spirit Column. Photo after this, we've got Mulg moving in. This is basically Mulg just trying to contest the zone, and then Butcher just charges him and kills him, and it's pretty much game over after that. If you look at the next photo, that's all he's got left, so not much more he could do. So as you guys can see, 3 fairly straightforward wins, which takes me to the next day with 3 wins, 1 loss, and obviously the games start to get harder as I get matched against the opponents who have been consistently winning, and hopefully I'll have some more stuff for you guys soon.